Okay, in this next section, we're going to cover binding. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to duplicate our kitten component. So this component we'll call cat age. And in here, we're going to take and remove our script again and all of these image tags. So the first thing that we're going to do is create a new input element. And this will just be type of number. Now what we're going to do is bind this to a value and one that we haven't created yet. And we're going to just take and make one appear. So we're going to let this be our age equals 0. And then we'll put age down here. And I'm going to go ahead and save that. Now, in our page Svelte, we're going to take out our kittens for now. And the only thing that we're going to include in here is our cat age. So we have our cat age component. It automatically was imported. We're no longer going to use our kitten component. And all we have here is an input. Now the cool thing here within cat age, we can show off some of the binding niceness is how quickly this is interpreted. So if I go back down here and just put a p tag again, and then within here I just put age, we'll also see a 0 there. However, now once I start to type, you can see that all of the numbers start to appear. Now, instead of directly updating the age, what we can do is set a new button up as well. So I'm going to go ahead and set up a button here. And this also is going to have a type of binding called onClick. And for this onClick, I'm going to call a new function called calculate age. And then we'll just say calculate. So this calculate age, we actually need a new function. So we're going to say const. We're going to just make this an arrow function. And this is going to be a kind of really rough math. But basically what we're going to do is say if age is less than 1, we're just going to output 0. Otherwise, we're going to take our age and multiply it by 6, which is really rough. Don't kill me on the math for calculating your cat's age. This will be so far off. So at this point, our P, we no longer want just showing age. We actually want it to show a calculated age. So we are going to need a spot to actually show this off from. So let's do let calculated age equal, or just do let calculate age. And then here we'll set this to calculate age is equal to the result. So now we can just say calculate age here. And now we'll just set calculate age to 0 as well. So now we have the 0 set. If we increment this value, notice how that 0 is not updating. If I hit calculate though, it will go up to 12. So every time the 3 goes up every 6. Every time we click that calculate. Now instead of including a button like this and having an unclick binding, what we could do is remove the onClick, and every time an age value is changed, we can actually update the calculated age. So calculated age, instead of having this setup, what we can do is remove all of this function piece, and here we'll actually say, let's do a reactive value. So we'll put a $sign, and we have calculated age that every time the age is updated, it'll automatically show that as well. So let's try that out. This is just letting Svelte know that we need to update this value every time age is going to be updated. We call this a reactive declaration. Now something that's really cool, you've probably saw when I have this 0 returning, anything less than that just comes out as 0. So we're okay here, but it's weird that this negative number, even though you could put the input and set it, let's do something fun and check out statements. So I can also do a $sign and then say if my age is less than 0, go ahead and alert your cat isn't born yet. We'll do something like that, something kind of fun. So now we're at 0, we can go up, we still get the math, and as soon as we go below, it says your cat isn't born yet? Okay. Now that we have a pretty good grasp on reactivity, we need to understand that Svelte's reactivity is triggered by assignments. So methods that mutate arrays or objects will not trigger updates by themselves. So let's update this to a TypeScript file. I'm going to add a new line that specifies ages. So every age that we update, we're going to include an age with a number, and then that calculated age is also going to be a number, and we'll put those into an array. So every time we update ages with our reactivity, we're going to push that age and calculated age in. Now this block below, I don't expect you to know yet. We will get to these later on for the each. However, just know that we're going to create an li for every one of the ages in the array. And you can see that we have our first one, 0 is 0. Now, as I update, I would expect this to increase with arrays. However, every time we're pushing, we're not updating because it doesn't realize that the array has mutated. However, what we're going to need to do is reassign the array. So I'm going to take this object out. I'm going to say ages is equal to a new array, first with ages included, and then the new object that we're creating. So now when I go over here, you should be able to see that every time I update, it will continually add to that array. So you just need to make sure that you reassign objects and arrays so that it can see that it's mutated.